Hi, it's me, Teacher Jeanne. In this lesson, you will learn about rational equations. Here, we need to recall multiplying and dividing fractions, laws of exponents, operations on integers, operations on polynomials, and last, simplifying rational algebraic expressions. Before we proceed, let's define first rational equations. It is an equation that contains one or more rational expressions. Here are the steps in solving a rational equations. First, find the LCD of all the denominators. Second, multiply each term of the equation by the LCD. Third, simplify and solve for x. And last, check your solution. If the value makes the LCD equal to 0, there is no solution. Such false solutions are called extraneous solution. For you to understand, let's have the following examples of rational equations. Solve for x and check. For number 1, the given is 2 over 5 minus 1 over 4 is equal to 3 over 4x. Based on the definition, we have there one or more rational expressions, and we use the equal sign, so that is considered an equation. The first step is find the LCD of all the denominators, and the denominators there are 5, 4, and 4x. If we are going to get their prime factors, 5 is a prime number, so we just copy it. 4 can be factored as 2 times 2, and 4x can be factored as 2 times 2 times x. Notice that we align the common factor 2, so we can bring down or write it once. Then bring down also the relatively prime 5 and x. Then multiply all of them. So 5 times 2 is equal to 10 times 2 is equal to 20 times x. The result is 20x as your LCD. Then multiply each term of the equation by the LCD. So we have 20x times the quantity 2 over 5 minus 20x times the quantity 1 over 4 is equal to 20x times the quantity 3 over 4x. Next, simplify and solve for x. So here, we can divide out or cancel the common factor on the numerator and on the denominator. And take note, the LCD 20x there is considered a numerator and the denominator is 1 and no need to write it. Then, so let's divide 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4. Then negative 20 divided by 4 is equal to negative 5. And on the other side, we have 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. And x divided by x is equal to 1. Then multiply the remainings. We have, on the first term, 4 times x times 2. On the second term, we have negative 5 times x times 1. And on the right side, we have 5 times 1 times 3. Then multiply 4 times x times 2 is equal to 8x. Negative 5 times x times 1 is equal to negative 5x. Then, on the right side, we have 5 times 1 times 3 is equal to 15. Next is combine similar terms. 8x and negative 5x are considered similar terms because they are both linear term, having the variables x to the first power. So, perform the indicated operation. 8x minus 5x is equal to 3x is equal to 15. Next, we're going to divide both sides by 3, which is the coefficient of x, so that we can cancel 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1 times x till we have x. Then 15 divided by 3 is equal to 5. So the value of x is equal to 5. And for the last, we're going to check your solution. On checking, we're going to use the value of x, which is 5. We're going to copy the original equation, which is 2 over 5 minus 1 over 4 is equal to 3 over 4x. Then we're going to substitute the value of x, which is 5. So we have 2 over 5 minus 1 over 4 is equal to 3 over 4 times the value of x, which is 5. Then simplify 3 over 4 times 5 is equal to 20. Now notice that 5 and 4 are different denominators, so we need to make them similar fractions. So for 2 over 5, we multiply both numerator and denominator by 4. For negative 1 over 4, we multiply both numerator and denominator by 5. So by multiplying numerator times numerator, 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Denominator times denominator, 5 times 4 is equal to 20. Negative 1 times 5 is equal to negative 5, and 4 times 5 is equal to 20. Now as you notice, we already have the same denominator. So we can subtract the numerator, 8 minus 5 is equal to 3, then copy the common denominator 20. So the result is 3 over 20 is equal to 3 over 20. Now if both sides are equal, that means the value of our x is correct. For number 2, we have 3 over x plus 1 over 2x is equal to 7 over x squared. First, we're going to find the LCD of all denominators. And the denominators there are x, 2x, and x squared. If we are going to get their prime factors, x is a prime number, so we just copy it. 2x can be factored as 2 times x or x times 2, and x squared can be factored as x times x. Notice that we align the common factor x so we can bring down or write it once, then bring down also the relatively prime 2 and x. Then multiply all of them. So x times 2 times x is equal to 2x squared as your LCD. Second, multiply each term of the equation by the LCD. So we have 2x squared times the first term 3 over x plus 2x squared times the second term 1 over 2x is equal to, on the right side, we have 2x squared times 7 over x squared. Next, simplify and solve for x. So here, we can divide out or cancel the common factor on the numerator and on the denominator. And take note, the LCD 2x squared is considered a numerator and the denominator is 1 and no need to write it. So on the first term, we can divide x squared divided by x is equal to x. On the second term, we have 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1, and x squared divided by x is equal to x. Then on the right side, we have x squared divided by x squared is equal to 1. Then multiply the remaining. On the first term, we have 2 times x times 3. On the second term, we have the remaining 1 times x times 1. And on the other side, we have the remaining 2 times 1 times 7. Then perform multiplication. 2 times x times 3 is equal to 6x. 1 times x times 1 is equal to x. So take note, any number or variable multiplied by 1, still we have the number or variable. On the right side, we have 2 times 1 times 7 is equal to 14. Then we're going to combine similar terms. We can only combine similar terms if they are on the same side. So notice that we have there the 6x plus x are considered similar terms because they are both linear terms, having the variable x to the first power. And take note also, the x there has the coefficient 1. It is understood and no need to write it. So 6x plus 1x is equal to 7x equals 14. Then divide both sides by 7, which is the coefficient of x, so that we can cancel 7 divided by 7 is equal to 1 times x till we have x, and 14 divided by 7 is equal to 2. So therefore, the value of your x is 2. And for the last, we're going to check your solution. So on checking, first we're going to write the original equation, which is 3 over x plus 1 over 2x is equal to 7 over x squared. Then we're going to replace or substitute the value of x, which is 2. So we have 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2 times 2 is equal to 7 over 2 squared. Then simplify, we have 3 over 2 plus 1 over 4 is equal to 7 over 4. Now as you notice, we multiply 3 over 2, both numerator and denominator by 2, so that they will become similar fractions. So 3 times 2 is equal to 6, 2 times 2 is equal to 4, plus 1 over 4 is equal to 7 over 4. So we already have the same denominator on the left side. So we can now add the numerator. 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. Then copy the common denominator 4. So 7 over 4 is equal to 7 over 4. So both sides are equal. Therefore, the value of your x is correct. For number 3, we have x over x minus 2 is equal to x over x minus 2. First, we're going to find the LCD of all denominators. And the denominator there is x minus 2 only. So therefore, that is already considered your LCD. Then, multiply each term of the equation by the LCD. So we have the quantity x minus 2 times the quantity x over x minus 2 times the quantity x minus 2 is equal to the quantity x minus 2 times the quantity x over x minus 2. Then, simplify and solve for x. For the first term, we can cancel x minus 2 divided by x minus 2 is equal to 1. On the second term, we cannot cancel negative 2 because they are both numerators. Now, let's have on the other side, x minus 2 divided by x minus 2 is equal to 1. Then, multiply the remainings. On the first term, we have 1 times x. On the second term, we can use distributive property. So, negative 2 times x. Then, negative 2 times negative 2. Then on the other side, we can multiply 1 times x. Then perform the indicated operation. 1 times x is equal to x. Negative 2 times x is equal to negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 is equal to 1 times x is equal to x. Then we're going to combine similar terms. Notice that on the left side, we have there the same linear terms. So we can subtract x minus 2x, we have negative x. So take note, x there has a coefficient of negative 1. It is understood and no need to write it. Then copy plus 4 is equal to x. Then apply addition property of equality. We're going to add both sides the additive inverse of negative x, which is positive x, so that we can cancel x minus x is equal to 0. Then bring down 4, then add x plus x is equal to 2x. Then divide both sides by the coefficient 2 so that we can cancel 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. And 1 times x is equal to x. And 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. And by using symmetric property, we can say that 2 is equal to x is the same as x is equal to 2. So the value of x is equal to 2. And for the last, we're going to check your solution. In checking, we're going to write first the original rational equation, which is x over x minus 2 is equal to x over x minus 2. Then we're going to replace or substitute the value of x, which is 2. So we have 2 over 2 minus 2 is equal to 2 over 2 minus 2. Then simplify, we have 2 over 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. Then copy minus 2 is equal to 2 over 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. Now take note, in rational expression, given a over b, b must not be equal to 0. When b is equal to 0, that is considered undefined. So therefore, x is equal to 2 is an extraneous solution or considered false solution. For number 4, we have the given x minus 3 all over 2 is equal to 1 over x minus 4. Since x minus 3 all over 2 is considered a simple fraction and also 1 over x minus 4, we can apply cross multiplication. So we can cross multiply the quantity x minus 3 times the quantity x minus 4. Then cross multiply, that is equal to 1 times 2. On the left side, we can use the FOIL method. So multiply the first term, x times x is equal to x squared. Multiply the outer terms, x times negative 4, that is negative 4x. Multiply the inner terms, negative 3 times x, we have negative 3x. And multiply the last terms, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. And that is equal to 1 times 2 is equal to 2. Then, simplify and solve for x. Now, on the left side, we have there the similar terms, which are negative 4x minus 3x. And the result is x squared minus 7x plus 12 is equal to 2. Then, we're going to apply addition property of equality. So, we're going to add both sides the additive inverse of positive 2, which is negative 2, so that we can cancel 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. And we're going to combine similar terms, which are the constant terms. So the result is x squared minus 7x, 12 minus 2 is positive 10 equals 0. So x squared minus 7x plus 10 equals 0 is a general trinomial in the form x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we're going to factor 10. If you're going to add, the sum is negative 7, which is the coefficient of the middle term. So we have the quantity x minus 5 times the quantity x minus 2. So negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10, and negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7, which is the coefficient of your middle term. We're going to equate each factor to 0. So we have x minus 5 is equal to 0, then we have x minus 2 is equal to 0. So using addition property of equality in the given x minus 5 is equal to 0, we are going to add both sides. The additive inverse of negative 5 is positive 5. Then on the given x minus 2 is equal to 0, we're going to add both sides. The additive inverse of negative 2 is positive 2. So here we have two values of x. The first value is 5 and the second value is 2. And for the last, we're going to check your solution. First, we're going to use the value of x, which is 5. And we're going to write the original rational equation, which is x minus 3 all over 2 equals 1 over x minus 4. Then we're going to replace or substitute the value of x, which is 5. Then simplify. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 over 2 equals 1 over 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. Then 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1, and 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1. So as you notice, both sides are equal. So therefore, the value of our x is correct. When x is equal to 2, again, we're going to write the original rational equation, which is x minus 3 all over 2 equals 1 over x minus 4. Then we're going to replace or substitute the value of x, which is 2. So we have 2 minus 3 all over 2 equals 1 over 2 minus 4. 2 minus 3 is equal to negative 1 over 2 equals 1 over 2 minus 4 is equal to negative 2. Now, if we have a negative on numerator or negative on the denominator, we can write it a line on the fraction bar. So as you notice, both sides are equal. Therefore, the value of your x, which is 2, is correct. For number 5, we have the given 2x over x plus 1 over 3x minus 2 is equal to 2. First, we're going to find the LCD of all denominators. And the denominators there are x plus 1 and 3x minus 2. Notice that we have no in common there, therefore we can multiply all of them. And the product is the quantity x plus 1 times the quantity 3x minus 2 as your LCD. Then, multiply each term of the equation by the LCD. So we have the quantity x plus 1 times the quantity 3x minus 2 times the first term 2x over x plus 1 plus the LCD quantity x plus 1 times the quantity 3x minus 2 times the second term 1 over 3x minus 2 is equal to 2 times the LCD quantity x plus 1 times the quantity 3x minus 2. Then, simplify and solve for x. On the first term, we can divide x plus 1 divided by x plus 1 is equal to 1. On the second term, we can divide 3x minus 2 divided by 3x minus 2 is equal to 1. Then, on the right side, as you can see, all of them are considered numerators. Next, we're going to multiply the remaining. On the first term, we have 2x times the quantity 3x minus 2 times 1. On the second term, we have the remaining 1 times the quantity x plus 1. And on the other side, we can distribute 2 times x is equal to 2x and 2 times 1 is equal to 2 times the quantity 3x minus 2. On the first term, use distributive property. So 2x times 3x is equal to 6x squared and 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. 3x times 1, still we have 6x squared minus 4x. Then on the second term, 1 times 1 times the quantity x plus 1, still we have x plus 1. Then on the right side, binomial times binomial, we can use FOIL method. So multiply the first terms, 2x times 3x is equal to 6x squared. Then multiply the outer terms, 2x times negative 2, we have negative 4x. Then multiply the inner terms, we have 2 times 3x, we have positive 6x. And for the last, multiply the last terms, positive 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Then combine similar terms. On the left side, we can combine negative 4x plus x because they are the same linear terms. So notice that we have unlike or different signs. So we're going to subtract and follow the sign of the larger number. So the result is 6x squared to negative 4x plus x is negative 3x plus 1. Then on the right side, we can combine negative 4x plus 6x. So notice that they are also unlike or different signs. So we're going to subtract and follow the sign of the larger number, which is positive. So the result is 6x squared, negative 4x plus 6x is positive 2x minus 4. Then we're going to apply addition property of equality. So we can add both sides. The additive inverse of 6x squared is negative 6x squared. So 6x squared minus 6x squared is equal to 0. Then bring down negative 3x plus 1 is equal to, bring down also 2x minus 4. Then again, add both sides. The additive inverse of positive 2x is negative 2x. So 2x minus 2x is equal to 0. So on the left side, negative 3x plus negative 2x is equal to negative 5x. Then we're going to add both sides. The additive inverse of positive 1 is negative 1. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. On the right side, we have negative 4 plus negative 1 is negative 5. Then divide both sides by negative 5, which is the coefficient of x, so that we can cancel negative 5 divided by negative 5 is equal to 1. Times x, still we have x, then negative 5 divided by negative 5 is equal to 1. So the value of your x is positive 1. And for the last, we're going to check your solution. So here, we're going to write first the original rational equation, which is 2x over x plus 1 over 3x minus 2 is equal to 2. Then we're going to replace or substitute the value of x is 1 on the equation. So we have 2 times 1 over 1 plus 1 over 3 times 1 minus 2 is equal to 2. Then simplify, 2 times 1 is equal to 2 over 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 plus 1 over 3 times 1 is equal to 3 minus 2 is equal to 1 equals 2. 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1 plus 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1 is equal to 2. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 equals 2. Now notice that both sides are already equal. Therefore, the value of your x, which is 1, is correct. Now it's your turn. Do it yourself. Solve for the x and check. Don't forget to comment down below your answers. Happy learning! Thanks for watching. Please like and share. And don't forget to subscribe on my channel and click the bell button so that you will be notified whenever I'm going to upload a new one. Maraming salamat!